Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a version of feminism that seems really simple on the surface, but wow, it gets complicated underneath. It's called choice feminism, and it's a huge and hugely debated idea that's shaping our culture right now.
So, let's kick things off with a question that is all over our social media feeds. Can any choice a woman makes, like, say, embracing a soft and girly aesthetic, be considered a feminist act just because she chose to do it?
Well, this very idea has a name: choice feminism. And at its heart, it's this really non-judgmental idea that liberation isn't about what you choose, but about the simple, powerful fact that you have the freedom to choose in the first place.
It's really built on a few core principles that honestly seem pretty straightforward. The logic goes like this. Freedom is all about having choices. Oppression, that's the lack of choice. So, any choice a woman makes is a win for her liberation, and we shouldn't judge those choices because, hey, previous generations of feminists fought for this exact freedom.
But, and this is a big but, here's where things get tricky. Critics are quick to point out that focusing only on the act of choosing completely misses the giant invisible forces, society, culture, history, that push us towards certain choices.
I mean, this tweet is a perfect snapshot of choice feminism in the wild. It frames a personal style as a political statement. But it's what's happening just beneath the surface that raises the really tough question. When a choice to act soft just so happens to align with very old-school, traditional expectations of women, is it really a free choice?
And that really gets to the absolute core of this whole debate. If your choice fits perfectly into what a patriarchal society already wants from women, is that choice truly an act of liberation? Or are you maybe just reinforcing the very system you're trying to escape?
So you can see the split, right? It's this major tension between what feels empowering for me, the individual, versus what's needed for broader systemic change for all women. Critics argue that choice feminism often ends up helping a small group of already privileged women while kind of ignoring the systems that limit choices for everybody else.
But here's the kicker. This whole argument, it is not new, not by a long shot. To really wrap our heads around it, we need to rewind the clock, way back before choice feminism was even a phrase, to a thinker who saw this all coming. So let's bring in one of the 20th century's sharpest minds, a woman who tackled these very issues with a fiercely independent and often controversial perspective. This is Susan Sontag. She was this incredible essayist and critic, and back in the 1970s, she was already wrestling with these exact ideas of choice, beauty, and power. And while her work was so important to feminist thought, she always resisted being put in a box.
Sontag was deeply skeptical of any group, and yes, that included feminists, that asked for rigid, unthinking agreement. As she put it, party lines just lead to intellectual monotony, and for her, that was the ultimate sin.
Now, she was especially focused on one area where our choices feel so personal but are also so deeply political: beauty. This is the arena where we're constantly told we're making choices for ourselves, but Sontag, well, she saw something very different happening.
In her landmark essay, The Double Standard of Aging, Sontag argued that society uses beauty and youth as tools of control. Even something as simple as asking a woman her age becomes this little test, this reminder of how society values her or doesn't. So for her, all the pressure to be beautiful wasn't some fun opportunity for self-expression. No, it was a form of oppression. It was something that wasted women's time, their money, their energy, and kept them in what she called a servile position, always looking for outside approval. And this comparison right here, this just lays out the conflict perfectly. Where a choice feminist sees putting on makeup as an empowering personal choice, I do it for me, Sontag would see it as actively participating in a system that's designed to keep women insecure and distracted.
So what was Sontag's solution? It wasn't to choose a more feminist brand of makeup or to try and reclaim beauty standards. No way. For her, the truly radical choice was to just reject the entire game, to disobey the rules, to protest the system by simply refusing to play.
Ultimately, this led her to a much more radical goal. For Sontag, real liberation wasn't about celebrating the differences between men and women. It was about undermining those differences so they could no longer be used as a weapon of power or a tool of oppression.
Okay, so after all that, what are we supposed to take away from this? Where does this leave us in this tug-of-war between personal choice and collective freedom?
Look, choice feminism is simple, and it's appealing. It feels good because it validates our own individual experiences. But thinkers like Susan Sontag force us to look beneath the surface of our choices, to question the very systems that are offering us those choices to begin with.
And I want to leave you with this, one last provocative idea from Sontag. She argued that instead of always trying to analyze and interpret everything to figure out if a choice is good or bad, feminist or not, maybe we need to engage more directly and deeply with the world. So the final question isn't just, what did I choose? It's, what forces shaped this choice? And what does it actually feel like to live inside it? And thinking about that, well, that might just be the most liberating choice of all.